Welcome to Massage Practice Insider. My name is Eleanor Sung. My pronouns are she, her, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about burnout. What is it? What does it look like? And how can we avoid or mitigate burnout? So burnout is something that's very important for massage therapists because it is one of the leading causes of massage therapists to leave the industry. Burnout is the lack of desire or the inability to do your job and to perform your job duties. So we see burnout and injury really taking out about 80% of the workforce, which really means that massage therapists' average career span is only about 6 to 7 years. And that's a really short time frame to have a career and to have a career end. So in order to mitigate that burnout, we have to recognize what it is and then what it looks like. So there's a couple different types of burnout that we experience as massage therapists. The first one is going to be physical burnout. Physical burnout is where you're just doing too much. So you're taking on too many hours throughout the day and you're not able to give yourself enough rest and recovery time before you go back. This is really important because what ends up happening is your burnout leads to injury. And then the injury can eventually lead to burning out because you're always injured. So if I am physically burning myself out and I'm, just going, doing all these massages, then I injure myself. Well, I take time off, but if I take time off, I'm not getting paid. If I'm not getting paid, I need to go back to work. So I don't take the recovery time I need and I go back to work. Well, I may not be at 100%. I may be at 90%. Well, then I work and I injure myself again, and I don't give myself time to recover. And we enter this vicious cycle, which then leads to permanent injury or injury that leads to where you're like, I'm done. I just can't do this anymore. So this is a really big area that we as massage therapists face. We have our mental burnout as well. We have kind of two realms. So we have kind of two extremes. We have overload burnout. Like with a small business, you may, okay, I have to do 22 hours of massage every week. I also have to do all my marketing every week. I have to do my bookkeeping. I have to do my laundry. I have to have conversation with my business coach. I have to renegotiate my lease. I have to do this. I have to do this. And it just piles up because you don't have enough hours in the day, enough days in the week to complete it. And then you start to get that overwhelm, a mental burnout. The opposite side is you have the understimulated burnout. And I see this a lot more with therapists who work in franchises because they're doing the same thing every day. They go into work, they do the same thing. The modalities that franchises are offering don't really change that much. And so this is a very monotonous job to go into. I've been there. I worked for franchises on and off for about half of my career. There was a time where I was like, what am I doing? You feel like you're at a dead end, and then you just feel like you're spinning your wheels. That's another area of mental burnout. The last one that I want to talk about is there's emotional, spiritual, energetic burnout, whatever you kind of want to call it. The people who are a little bit more empathetic that can feel energies and auras tend to suffer from this just a little bit more than those who are a little bit more scientific and somatic in their approach to massage therapy. And so you have to figure out a way to not allow those energies to overwhelm you. Now, we have different stages of burnout. So the stage one, this is when you just get into the industry, you just get a job, you're all euphoric and happy. I love my job. This is the I love my job phase, where you wake up every day and you're just grateful and thankful that you get to go do this amazing job of massage therapy. This is also listed, if you look up the 5 stages, this is listed as the honeymoon phase, where you just feel great about everything. A lot of therapists they don't live here for very long. This is a very temporary space. Stage 2 is where most people live within their career, right? This is the onset of stress. So this is when, yes, you feel stress with your job, but you also still love your job. And the days that you love your job are more than the days that you feel the stress. So you may start to feel a little bit of anxiety. You might start to experience a couple nights a month of like insomnia or lack of sleep or fatigue because you've had a very stressful day. So you are now very tired, or I can't sleep because I have to think about these things that are coming up. Like you may have a stressful day and be like, I have one day where I plan all of my social media posts and it's my least favorite aspect of doing my job. So you have that one day of like high stress, and you want to avoid that one action. But once it's done, you're like, okay, good, it's done. This is the onset of stress. Again, most people live in this space, and this is a healthy space to be. Now, once we start to enter stage 3, this is when we start to enter the chronic stress phase. And so what you're seeing here is you're seeing more stressful days than you are not stressful days. You're starting to feel a lot more anxiety, panic attacks. You might feel this really heavy restlessness, like it's just not going right. It's not right. Again, that high anxiety. And you may start to feel a little bit of like hints of depression, hints of avoidance behaviors starting to really become a part. Like you're going to start noticing that you're starting some avoidance behaviors. And this is really where we need to recognize and evaluate, am I okay? This may be, so ways to mitigate at stage 3 is I need to take a day off. I need to take a small vacation. I need to, do something for myself. I need to step away and breathe so I'm not feeling that overwhelm, or I'm not feeling that, the desire to not go into work. I am a big advocate for my husband who works at a franchise. He is a massage therapist. And in 2021, I basically told him, I said, by the way, once a quarter, you're taking a week off. And at first he was like, well, Eleanor, what are we going to do? How are we paying for that? And I was like, you're going to take this much money every week and you're going to stick it in a savings account. And then that gives you the money that you need to take that week off. And he's just like, okay. And we're continuing that into this year. And I think it's really good for him because he's able to mitigate any chronic stress things that he starts to feel. Same with me. I take vacations all the time. When I start to even notice that I'm getting into that chronic stress phase, I look at my schedule and I'm like, oh, look, I could take this day off, and I just take it off. But that's one of the big things is taking some vacation time. If you don't take care of yourself during stage 3 and you don't evaluate and you don't recognize that something's happening, you're going to enter into stage 4. Stage 4 is burnout. This is where you then start to have a lot of difficulty coping with what you need to cope with. There's a lot of escapist or avoidance activity, like tendencies that you get with burnout. Like, I can't handle this right now. I'm going to walk away from this and I'm going to, I just can't handle this right now. It's too much for me. And this is where you get that build up, right? So you've had the stress and it's not going away and you're not able to mitigate it and you're not able to stop it. So you end up reaching a point where you no longer you just don't have much more to give. And you start to see things like depression seeping in, higher anxiety than before, high blood pressure. You may have heart palpitations, panic attacks. It may be where you do get more sick. You are not getting as much sleep. So you're starting to experience some chronic fatigue in this burnout stage. And really, this is where intervention is needed. So if you're experiencing this, stop and find someone to help you through this. If this is a group of girlfriends that you're like, I don't know what to do, or a group of guy friends, or this could be your personal trainer at the gym, and you just be like, look, I've got to figure out a way to get all of this off my plate. They may be able to help you. Finding a therapist, I mean, like a psychiatrist or a psychologist that's willing to help you, a behavioral therapist, a family therapist, something. But you have to stop and you have to figure out what to do. Otherwise, you're going to end up in stage 5 burnout, which is habitual burnout. Basically, what you're doing is you're creating a habit with the burnout. You're conditioning yourself to recognize all of the things that's going on with burnout. You're going to notice with stage 5 and habitual burnout that your behaviors are changing, your mental status is changing, but also you're going to have chronic fatigue and severe depression up to being suicidal. So this is a really, really important thing for us to recognize that this is a thing. And at habitual burnout, and even sometimes in stage 4, stepping away and walking away from the industry, at whether it's permanently or temporary, walking away from the industry may be what you need to do. It may be that you need to quit your job. So be aware that those are possibilities if you reach stage 4 and 5. Now, ways to mitigate and prevent burnout. Something you can do early on, or even starting today, is to set yourself some healthy boundaries. Make sure that you know that your time is your time and that you can't focus on your business 100% of the time. Family, friends, you should have times where you turn your phone off, where you are not available. Setting yourself boundaries. If you work for someone and they say, "Hey, can you come in?" No is a complete and totally acceptable sentence. No. And you don't have to justify the no. You are not available at that time. Are you available at this time? No, I am not. Well, why? Because I'm not. I'm sorry. And it is okay for you to say that. And don't let them bully you into thinking that you have to work 90 hours a week. Been there, done that. It is not fun. Don't do it. The number 2 thing you can do is self-care. Make sure you take time out for yourself. Make sure that you are giving yourself grace and that you are giving yourself time to recuperate and to rejuvenate. I love to drive. So one of the things that I will do randomly is I actually pack my kids in the car. We slam some music on the radio and we just take off and we go for a drive. So make sure you take time out for self-care, manicure, pedicure, massage, whatever that looks like, working out, going for a walk, going for a drive, binge watching a couple episodes of your favorite show on Netflix, whatever that looks like, that is self-care for you. Number 3, reevaluate your why. So figure out what your motivation is and reevaluate whether that's still your motivation, because your motivation can change. I like to reevaluate what my why is every quarter. So I'm actually going to do a whole video on finding your why. If that video hasn't come out yet, or you want more information on it, just go onto the YouTube search engine and look up Simon Sinek, Sinek, and find your why and watch his TED Talk. It's fantastic. So just kind of figure out what that is. Make yourself a vision board, and your vision can change. It does not have to stay the same. It will not stay the same. Number 4, continue learning. And your passions can change. Just like your vision can change, your passions can change as well. So you may have spent your first 3 years of your career looking into reflexology and different types of energetic work, but then really gotten into doing more of the spa therapies. And then you move from the spa therapies into the pain management therapies. And it's great. Continue learning. The more you learn, the more you know, the better you can integrate all the things that you know to create better sessions for your clients, which gives them better satisfaction, which then gives you better satisfaction. So keep learning and learn something new. And it doesn't have to just be with massage. You can learn how to create a YouTube channel. You could learn how to do a podcast. You learn how to edit videos for fun. Figure that out, right? And then the last thing that you can do to prevent or mitigate burnout is going to be to seek help. So seek help when you need it. And that doesn't mean just from a psychiatrist. This could be seeking help from your spouse, seeking help from your parents, from a sibling, from your boyfriend or your girlfriend. This could be, your partner. This could be somebody within the industry. It could be a business coach. It could be your pastor, somebody that you can go to and say, I need a minute. And you can get help, you can get advice, or you can get a cheerleader. Whatever you need, make sure you find it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up so you can make sure you get notifications as to when I do another video. Thank you so much, and you guys have a blessed day.